tukuri inyuma, muteze kugenda wenyine, tukuri inyuma, tukuri inyuma.
Twazaniriza mu myaka 10 maze byatanye izo nzozi zacu natwe tukiri mu myaka mitoya twifuza ko twagira amahirwe yo kuba twakwiga izi life skills kugeza kuri za nzozi dushaka.
Murakoze cyane, nizere ko buri wese ameze neza. Ndabashimiye kuba mwitabiriye ino workshop iri muri gahunda ya job readiness ya kabiri, ariko tukibanda kuri communication kuko abantu iyo bakorana hamwe nta kuntu bakora. N'ubu turi gukora icyo bita communication, iyo itaba ihari ntabwo twari guhura, nta cyakorwa muri make. So murakoze, ndashimira aborganije ino workshop. Akaba twavuga ko hari abantu bari kwifatanya natwe. Ni umuntu umwe akaba ashinzwe employer relations kuri African Leadership University ALU. Akaba twarakoranye no kuri Akina, yitwa Helen Konyango. Avuga Icyongereza, ariko nasoza session yiwe turaza kugerageza baradufasha Savio n'abandi tugerageze tubishyire muri samari ibyo yatubwiye. Ariko muri makeya rero icyo nashaka kuvuga ni uko uyu munsi turibanda kuri communication. Abafacilitator baragenda bavuga kuri topic zigiye zitandukanye. So thank you, Helen. Thank you for joining. Helen anyway Nababwiraga. So Helen, today we are just having a workshop with some Golden Hills members in the girls and the boys team.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Jimmy, and good morning, all the participants. But thank you so much, Jimmy, for giving me the chance to be part of the workshop. And I believe I could go ahead and start the session now, or we're still doing introduction?
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So from what I understand, my area that I wanted to cover was pushing or advocating for effective communication habits. And I wanted to ask if I could share my screen, because I have a few slides, just 7, so that I could, it could aid with my presentation. So,
It's okay.
So you can see the tab in the first slide. So I titled this presentation Effective Communications Matter, and we're going to see how they matter both in the professional space and in the personal space. So that's what I wanted to emphasize on, and we're going to look at 4 areas. So these 4 areas I was guided by Jimmy, and he mentioned that there are 4 areas that I could focus on, and that was in clarity. So when you speak, what you're saying, is it being received well by who is listening? And then feedback, which I know is a very sometimes tough area to look into, and then also maintaining respect in conversations. And then just mention a few things about it, so that these are the things that I want you to take away at the end of this session within these 4 areas. So I'm going to start with listening. So when we look at listening, sometimes listening is not considered as a skill, but really it is a skill, because when you're having a conversation, most of the times, and I want to challenge you, the next time you're having a conversation, whether in the professional space or the personal space, I want you to take time and look and see, are you listening to respond, or are you listening to what the person is saying? And listening not just to what they're saying, but how they're saying it. So someone can say, I'm so excited! And then you can understand that the person is very excited about it. But then someone can come and say, I'm very excited. Those are the same sentences, but 2 different tones. So when you're listening, are you listening to the words and the tone? And then also check yourself as well. How are you listening? Are you listening patiently? Are you listening? Are you focusing? Are you on your phone and then looking up and listening? Or have you put the phone aside and given all your attention? So listening is a skill where, number 1, you need to be active. active in your engagement. You need to look at the person, you need to listen to what they're saying, you need to listen to how they're saying, and then also be patient with yourself. And then take time to understand what they're saying. Listen to the words. If you don't understand, then we go to the next part, which is clarity. So when you're speaking, you also need to choose your words, choose very few words, because when you look at the human mind, our attention span, sometimes can get distracted. So when you're talking, you have to make sure you keep your message short. If it's saying, I want to speak to you, just keep your words short, I want to speak to you. But if you continue to say, I want to take time, and then we talk, just go straight to the point, I want to speak to you. And then the person will know, okay, this person needs to speak an audience. The next part is using clear language. Like I said, keep your sentences short when you're talking, so that the person can understand what you're saying. And then, of course, avoiding jargon. When you're especially in the professional world, if you're talking to someone who doesn't know your field, this is where you have to break it down so that they can understand. What they usually say is, I have a background in communications and writing. And when they tell us to write a newspaper article, they tell us to use the level of language somebody in grade 9 or class 9 can understand. So whenever you read newspapers, you'll never find technical language unless it's maybe medical. But in communications, they always tell us use grade 9 or level 9 language. They never use jargon. And then now, the next part I want to talk about is giving feedback. So you've listened to someone and then you're giving your message and it has to be clear, and then their message has to be clear. So what happens when there is conflict in the communication and you need to give feedback? Or maybe there was conflict when you were working with something and you need to give feedback. Positive feedback is easier to give. You can tell someone, you did a great job, you did well. But what happens when you have to give negative feedback? So this is where it's always a challenge, because you have to make sure you talk to the person so that they understand what happened, how you felt when it happened, and then what you can do to make it better. So whenever it comes to feedback, especially giving the negative feedback. So here I want to say that whenever you give negative feedback, it has to be constructive. You can't come in and say, the project was failure, we did it very badly. That will crush the spirit of the person you're talking to. So there has to be a way where you come in so that you can talk and you enhance collaboration. Because once you give very negative feedback, it's hard to continue collaborating because you crush the spirit of your teammate, and then it's difficult to continue collaborating. But we'll talk more about that. So with feedback, it has to be constructive and positive, it has to be encouraging, and it has to be open so that everyone can speak how they felt about it. If something fails, they can be open about it, and then everyone is on the same page. And then the last part is, which I think holds all communication together, we always have to be respectful. We always have to value other people's opinions, especially when they're different, other people's contributions, and then always maintaining professionalism, whether in the personal space or in the professional space.
Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward for you to coming to Rwanda and maybe do more of this type of workshop with you whenever you have time, and we can always share with you our calendar of activities. So whenever you have time, we will appreciate you to share one or two things that will help us continue to grow. So thank you so much, Helen.
Mama Kanyenye, Mama Kanyenye, Etumpatie bisous, encore, thank you, Helen.
Thank you so much. And I'm coming to learn Kinyarwanda. Everyone in the room will have to teach me Kinyarwanda. I'm coming.
Yes, you accept that. Thank you so much, Helen. So, tugiye kubwira umuntu acyumve neza kiraza kuba kigizwe n'iki. Icyambere, iyo message igomba kuba yumvikana neza. Nicyo bita clarity. Sibyo nkuko batubwiye kare, nabyo Jackson ngeze kuvugaho nimba umuntu utanga communication igihe tize zizabera cyangwa se event ihari. Turavuga tuti tize zizaba ku wa gatanu. Uwo ni umunsi ni icyambere. Tariki zingahe, sangahe, hehe. Sibyo ibyo ni ibintu byumvikana yuko iyo message iri clear, iruzi. Bese nta kindi kintu ufite cyo kubaza wowe urimo kuyibwira. Bakubwiye aho biri bubere, bakubwiye deje urabizi ko 1000 n'izi bikore. Nimba hari abandi bari buze nabyo bigomba kujyamo. Kuko nabyo birashoboka ko dushobora kuba dufite yenda abashyitsi runaka. Sibyo cyangwa se dufite uwo munsi match bigomba kuba bitandukanye. Bese wowe ugatanga message yawe mu buryo busobanutse. Tom ni uburyo bivugamo, uburyo wowe icyo kintu ukivuga. Ubu ari ukuntu ushobora kuvuga ikintu nyine urakara kandi bavugaga ikintu cyiza umuntu agahita avuga sura kucyari kumbwira nabi ukamuciye intege kubera ko wari urimo kumubwira yenda nk'ibyo tujye mu buzima bwacu bwa rebe nyine umuntu umupashe baro arayitaha isubwa wowe mugenze gakeya nyine ntabwo ayitaye ntabwo nawe yashakaga gukora iryo kosa mugenze gakeya umuhe communication nyine nziza ibe ton yawe ibe iri friendly kubera kugira ngo nawe byumvikane neza kandi niba ushaka ko inumvikana nyine ari igitsure ko hangiye biba ngombwa yuko ari igitsure kibaho nyine bigaragaza ko ari igitsure ubese ukoresha ton yawe uburyo uri buvugemo buze kugaragaza wowe icyo washatse kuvuga n'utandukanye message washatse gutanga n'uburyo utanga ibimenyetso ukoresha murabizi ko abasifuzi bakoresha ibimenyetso sibyo ushobora kugira ngo tumenya n'uko avuze ni offside sibyo ntabwo yavuze abantu bari hanze kubera ko babonye amasigns yakoresheje sibyo bakamenya ngo ibi bintu yakoze ni ibi ngibi urimo gusmiling sibyo niba umuntu umukeneyeho serivisi ukamujya imbere warakaye wagize ibiki ukeneye ko nyine mwumvikana muri mood nziza ugira akamwenyu ku maso ugira ukuntu umuvugisha neza nyine kugira ngo cya kintu uri kumubwira acyumve neza.
Umukino wo kwigana itumanaho ni uburyo bw'umwitozo ikoreshwa mu kwigisha aho abantu bitwara nk'aho bari mu bihe by'ukuri muri real scenario bagakina uko umuntu yitwara mu biganiro bitandukanye kugira ngo bagire ubumenyi bwo gukoresha itumanaho neza, gukemura amakimbirane mu mahoro, gutanga ubutumwa mu buryo bunoze bugaragara neza. So muri scenarios twahisemo 10 ni scenarios ziri muri domaine zitandukanye. Hari aho uri bwisange uri umukiriya uri kuvugana n'umubosi wawe, hari aho uri bwisange uri umutoza uri gusobanurira umukinnyi, hari aho uri bwisange uri umukozi uri gusobanurira undi mugenzi wawe, hari aho uri bwisange uri kapiteni uri kumva ikibazo cy'umukinnyi mugenzi wawe, hari n'aho uri bwisange uri gukemura amakimbirane. So adushyiriraho scenario ya mbere kugira ngo tuyisobanure neza twumve niba abantu bari bwumve scenario zizaba uburyo ziri gukora.
Ku batarasoza mukomeze musoze groupe ya mbere yazigatangira mu presentation.
Amakuru bameze neza kwakira mu gitondo
nagize impamvu itunguranye n'umurangi yaje kurwara kandi icyo umuntu ari mu rugo byenyine byansabye ko mwitaho.
hano umuntu aruhamagaye
Telefone yanjye na interineti ziriho na amayinite byabaye ngombwa rero nta n'umuntu nabonye ko nari butume dukumva baranaki.
ubutaha rero turi bimenyesha hakiri kare kugira ngo bagenzi bawe baze babivuge babibwire kapitene abayobozi kugira ngo babone uko bagufasha.
Muri body language za Johnson bisa naho byatera ubwoba umuntu uburyo yamurebaga ntabwo yeza aseka ntabwo yarinde bari kumutuma
ahubwo nanjye kandi kantu urumva yavuze ngo ubutaha ibigo bibiri kandi byaje bimutunga urumva yisobanuye uburyo bwose yahuye n'imbogamizi izo ari zo zose ariko ahita yongeraho ku mutaho w'ikominike
inzira yo gukominikamo tumenyesha n'uyu ibyo byari kumusobanurira mbere yuko kugira ngo bakomeze
no kumwumva listening ni ngombwa cyane.
Isomo ryose twize uyu munsi uburyo bigenda, umutoza aranyegereye ambaza impamvu ntapasaga neza kandi yarasazwe azi ko mpasa neza. Namubwiye mfite ikibazo mu rutugu, ambwira ko nyine ubutaha nzabanza nkivuza noneho bazaza mu myitozo meze neza.
Senariyo nk'iyi ngiyi, umukinnyi araza agasuhuza umutoza, turashaka kureba buri sitepu uko igenda. Mwiriwe umutoza, nagira ngo mbwire yuko ziriya squat mwari muri kudukoresha rwose mfite ikibazo nagize, namenyesheje muganga yambwiye yuko nzamara ibyumweru 2, niyo mpamvu ntabashije kuzikora neza. Umutoza aravuga nuko nguko bimeze. Senariyo ibe nk'agateatre cyangwa nk'agasene gatoya kerekana ikiganiro bagiranye kiri fomo n'uburyo iyo communication itanzwe hagati y'umukinnyi n'umutoza.
Communication cyangwa se ubutumwa ubutanga neza kandi mu buryo bworoshye kugira ngo ubuhaye akumve, niba ari ikintu akamenya gufatanya kugira ngo gikorwe bikagenda neza. Murabibona muri iyo context ko iyo umuntu akubwiye ikintu, hari ibintu bajya bavuga nk'ubu nguhaye ubutumwa ugenda ubwire abandi batari hano tubwaba bose, sibyo? Hari igihe ushobora kugera ku muntu wacu bwa butumwa bwahindutse.
Oh, we talked of what's up, how are you? Instead of saying what's up, how are you? What is happening? Is there anything going on? Right? Alright. If I am, okay, I am doing a presentation to you guys. And I am talking, and my hands, okay, let me say my hands are like this all the time, seated in one place, looking only at you, looking only in one position. From the beginning till the end, I am only talking to one person with my hands in my pocket. Right? All the others are left out. They are confused. It's only like I am focusing only on Pade. But it is different. When I am talking, I move into the room. I eye contact. I give you eye contact. I come to this other side. I make sure I give you eye contact, even if you don't give me eye contact back. Yeah? Sorry. So, this is going to avoid a boring conversation. This is going to avoid a boring conversation, and it is going to make the other person you are talking to feel engaged. So, when you are talking to somebody, give gestures that suit the conversation. Give them eye contact. Talk to them face to face. If you want to have a clear message, first of all, think before you speak. Okay? You have to first of all think before speaking. I have been in a conversation with somebody for 30 minutes, and they are speaking, and I don't know what they are talking about. Because they are moving from left to right. Okay, we are talking about rugby, but they involve football, they involve basketball, they involve handball. At the end of the day, what are you talking about? So you have to first of all think about your message before you say it out. We are moving to the second, which is tone. Tone. In here, tone is how the message feels. The feeling behind the message. It is not just about the words. It's about the feeling behind the message. We talked, the first speaker talked about various personalities. There are some people who are logical, and there are others that are feelers, like the guy, the first speaker was saying. So, when you are communicating, your tone matters a lot. I'm going to take, for instance, if I ask you, how do you feel? How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. In my tone, how did you receive the message in my tone?
Like you are friendly and you are humble.
That was friendly? No. How are you?
No.
That was not friendly.
No.
I'm angry.
Yeah.
Man, it's even irritating. If you ask me how are you, I will be like, man, you're crazy. I'm not sure I will even reply to that.
Sure.
But if I come and I'm like, hey, bro, how are you? How are you today? What's happening? Are you okay? I mean, the tone is more soft. Yeah. It is more, friendly. Yeah. It is more relational.
Sure.
So your tone in every message matters. Be you talking to your teammates, be you at home, even with your younger ones. Me, I have fallen guilty in that many times. I'm trying to correct my younger ones because I am angry. I just shout at them, and at the end of the day, they don't get the message behind what I am trying to communicate. So, in communicating tone, first of all, you learn how to manage your anger, keep it aside, manage your anger, manage your temperaments, know who you are, know your personality, trait, and then communicate the right tone behind the message. Choosing the right method of communication. Choosing the right method of communication. Now we have text messages, we have calls, we have email, we have Zoom, we have presentations. Depending on who you want to communicate with, that is when you have to choose the method of communication. Okay? Whenever you send a resignation letter through text, let me say you are working in Thousand Hills and you feel like your time in Thousand Hills is done, you want to resign. Don't write a text message to president, to CEO, to manager, to tell them that you are resigning. Don't do that. Take a pen, take a paper, write your resignation letter down, articulate it very well, put it in an envelope, possible, drop it directly to the person in charge, either the president, the CEO, or the whosoever. Okay? The reason why that is very important is because you are resigning here tomorrow and you are going to work in another place. The place you are going to work, they are going to ask these people your relationship. How was the relationship in your former working environment? Imagine you sent a resignation letter through text. I mean, that is already negative feedback that these people are going to give to the next company. Me who is here, President, JD, no one is perfect. It is a journey. We keep on learning every day. And how do we keep on learning? By actively practicing. If we stay in our corner and we are shy, if we stay in one corner and we don't want to try to put in the work, guess what? We are always going to remain in the same level. Okay? So, it is active practicing. Okay? And finally, communication is just like rugby. It is a team sport. Okay? Rugby is a team sport and communication is a team effort. We must pass the right message to the right person at the right time. Right message, right person, at the right time.
Niba hari undi ufite inyunganizi ikindi gitekerezo akanya kacu kugira ngo tunarelaxinge kwiruka turi kwiga. Murakoze.
Ndashima ubufasha bwa buri wese. Ndabona abatekinolojiste bacu nabo bahabaye ariko n'abandi ndabashimira mwese maboko, nkashimira ubuyobozi bwa Thousand Hills, nkashimira abakinnyi bose babashije kuhagera barumuna banjye na bashiki banjye ndabakumbuye cyane, ntabwo nakomeza kubivuga, sigeze abona muri iyi minsi ngarutse mu rugo. Ikindi kintu nashaka kuvuga, ibi bintu nk'uko turi gushaka kwisobanukirwa kurushaho no gushaka gukora neza, gutera imbere nk'abantu ariko b'umuryango, tuzajya tubifata tubyiteho kuko ntabwo ari buri wese kubona ano mahirwe. Tubyiteho kandi tugire umuryango ukominika, ubaza ibibazo, usobanutse muri make. Rero nizimbye mu magambo kubera amasaha nzi ko ari n'igikorwa cyo kwibuka, ndashima mbikuye ku mutima Imana yaduhuje, Imana yaduhaye n'umuryango mugari wa Thousand Hills, Imana yaduhaye barumuna bacu, bashiki bacu, abantu bafite tanga zitandukanye nk'uko mubibona, batuma bino bintu byacu bigenda neza. Ndashima neza cyane JD na Serge ku buyobozi bwiza, ndashima Savio na Maboko, Alain na Aime n'abandi mwese, sekreteri, Soberi, Simbi n'abandi bose kabisa, mutume n'umuryango wacu ukomeza kugira agaciro kagaragara nk'uko murimo murabibona namwe. Iri ni itangiriro, turacyakomeza gukura. Ndabashimira rero, nsaba n'Imana usumba byose ko yakomeza ikatujya imbere, ikatwagura imitima yacu, ikanaduha uru rukundo, tukazanabera urugero abandi bantu bose. Murakoze cyane.
Imana ibakugisha n'abayobozi bacu babashije kudutegurira ino workshop nziza. Ni umugambi mwiza wa Thousand Hills Rugby wo kugira ngo tutakomeza kubaho nk'abakinnyi ba rugby gusa, nk'uko biri mu mugambi wa Thousand Hills Rugby, kugira ngo tube n'abantu beza mu kibuga ndetse no hanze y'ikibuga. Aya mahugurwa rero azakomeza kugenda ahoraho kugira ngo tuzige n'ibindi byinshi bigiye bitandukanye, tuzige ibyo mu kibuga ndetse twige n'ibizadufasha mu buzima bwacu kugira ngo dukomeze kubaho neza. Mwakoze mwese abitabiriye, twabashimiye cyane, twiha amashyi twese.
Tugushimira ko wajya kuduhereza hamwe nk'umuryango kandi ukabana natwe muri byose. Tugushimira ko wabanye natwe kuva tugeze hano kugeza tugiye gutandukana, kandi ubane natwe mu nzira tugiye gucamo tujya ku rwibutso, turindisha urugwe n'urukundo rwawe. Nubwo turi bujye gutandukana turongera tugushime, kandi ubwo tuzongera guhura nawe tuzagushima, twese twizeye izina ryawe. Amen.